All right. Well, good evening and welcome everyone. For those that don't know me, to our first timers, our guests here, my name is Brad, and I'm a student here of the Science of Mind and Dell's sidekick, I like to say.
Yes.
Kind of just do what he says, but also I think I serve as the vice chair or something like that.
That's right.
On the leadership
Indeed.
council. So.
And licensed spiritual practitioner in training.
In training, there we go. So wearing many hats, and Gail's going to take over all of that next year, which is my 3 hours, Gail. So get ready. But anyway, I did want to say Happy New Year first and foremost to everybody. And I like to take a moment too, just to practice my languages. Because we are now global, international, literally, this will be up on the internet, and anyone in the world can see it.
Yes.
And I often share this with my friends in different parts of the world. So to all my friends in Japan and those that speak Japanese, I want to say Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. All that was Happy New Year, but there was a little more to it, which I'll explain it. So. To all my friends that speak German, Frohes Neues Jahr, Happy New Year. And to all my friends in the Philippines and around the world, Maligayang Bagong Taong, Happy New Year.
I like that.
And then, of course, to our Spanish-speaking friends, Feliz Año Nuevo. So there we go. Practicing all my languages. So, and show picture one.
All right.
So welcome, Charlotte. So. I want to start off tonight by showing you a picture. You can see this up here. This is a picture of me running, and this is right before the pandemic. This is in Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, and you could probably see the pain and agony on my face. I would first say I would not recommend running when it's negative 15-degree wind chill outside. And being brand new to Tulsa, I didn't understand about the weather or anything. I wasn't used to that. And you can't see it here, but I'm wearing a particular type of open-toed running shoe with a thin pair of socks. So needless to say, that's part of the reason for my grimace. But the reason I wanted to show you this picture is not what you see, but what you can't see. What you cannot see. So in this picture, you cannot see my fear, my insecurity, my my feeling of a lack of worthiness. I'm not worthy. My feeling of lack of enough. I'm not enough. And now let's jump ahead to another picture I want to show you.
Okay, that's a good picture.
And
Actually,
yeah.
Looks sort of like
The second one there. There we go. So this is a second picture of me. This was taken about 4 months ago. It was in June of this year. The first picture you just saw, I had no knowledge of science of mind, philosophy, or spiritual principles or anything like that. I should point that out too. So this second picture, again, what you can obviously is me smiling. And the first picture, I probably had a little more hair, but I had my hat on too. So this picture, I don't know, maybe this is almost a 4-year gap between that first picture and this picture. Wow. So I probably lost a little more hair there. But again, not what you can see in this picture, it's what you can't see. Okay, what you can't see is someone who is now on the journey to remembering who they are. Someone who is slowly but surely starting to understand that love is all there is, that I am one with God, that what I think about is what I become, becomes my reality. And so what I wanted to talk about for tonight, let's go to the third picture. You'll see a side-by-side comparison of the two. So what I wanted to talk about tonight is something I call New Year, New Mindset, New You. So how did I go from the picture, and it's on my left, it might be on your right on the screen, of where I'm running, and never mind the cold for a moment, the negative 15, to the picture on the right. And how can you, if you're watching at home or somewhere around the world, how can you go from that person that is insecure, lack of worthiness, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, to that person that you see on the right that is smiling, that all of a sudden says, you know what, I am enough, I am worthy. And so as we begin to close the door, to close the book, to close the chapter on 2022, and we approach the new year, 2023, now is the time, the perfect time, they say, as a lot of us do, to begin to reflect on all things 2022 and look ahead to all things 2023. So how to do that? How to move forward in the best way possible? Okay, not with fear, but with love. With love in our hearts, and as the song says, thoughts of good tidings, visions of sugar plums dancing in our heads. So to go from where I was in that picture, and I look at that and it starts to get me here, I get a little choked up, where I'm running to that vibrant, smiling individual on the right, I had to understand a few key principles, spiritual principles, science of mind principles, if you will. And so I wanted to share a couple of those with you here tonight. So the first principle, to go from where I was to where I am, to apply in your life, is the principle of gratitude. Mm-hmm. So as the year draws to a close, ask yourself, what are you grateful for? And if you haven't done so already, before the clock strikes midnight tonight, sit down with a notebook and a pencil, piece of paper, and write down everything that you are grateful for. Okay? But not for necessarily all the easy stuff. What about everything that challenged you in your life in 2022? The hard times, the difficult times. What can you find to be grateful for in those situations? Okay? So challenge yourself to find the gratitude, not when life is easy, but when life is hard. Okay? And I ask that you do this not because it will be fun or that it will be easy, but because it will be necessary and because it will be worth it. And so the next principle, to go from that picture you see of me running to that picture you see on the right of me smiling and coaching, is something that I had to understand. Very basic principle we talk about is love. And so here at Science of Mind and the spiritual principle, we say that God and love is all there is. But what I didn't understand then, and what I'm still learning now, is where does this love start? Okay? What I realized in going from that first picture to that second picture is that love starts and ends with me. Mm-hmm. And with you. But what I learned, especially along the way, is that before I can love anyone, anything, any situation, anything going on in the world out here, before I can love any of that, I have to first love myself. And so what I learned is that love starts with yourself. Loving yourself. Because remember, love is who you are. And so I had to remember who I was. Okay, that key core principle. So as we transition from 2022 to 2023, and it always takes a while to get that 2 to 3 to come off of the tongue there, take a moment, meditate, go within, remember who you are. Love is the most basic principle of who you are. In that first picture, I didn't know that. In that first picture, you see separation, hence the fear, the insecurity, that I'm not worthy enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough. Okay, those two thoughts prevailed and dominated my everyday reality for the better part of my existence until within the last year or two. The third principle, and this is key, is that I had to change what I was focusing on. Okay, what I was thinking. So here at Science of Mind, a key part of our philosophy is that we say, change your thoughts and you change your world. You see, in that first picture of me on the left where I'm running, I'm drowning in thoughts of what I didn't want and how I didn't want life to go and how everything is working against me. Okay? Lost my train of thought. Hold on a second. But in the second pick, here we go. But in the second pick, okay, I changed my thoughts. I changed my focus, not from what is not working for me, but to what is working for me, to how great life can be. to focus on everything that I want to experience in life, that I choose to experience, okay? And what I began to choose to experience is all things love and peace and joy and happiness. And so what allowed me to shift my focus from how life wasn't working for me to how life was working for me is those first two principles that I just mentioned, gratitude and love. Everything in our life starts with gratitude and love. So as you transition into 2023, take a moment to review your thoughts. Okay? Do your thoughts support the picture that you see of me on the left running? Or do your thoughts support the picture of me that you see on the right that is smiling? Okay? What thoughts could you have that would lead to your best possible life in 2023? Your best possible life. What thoughts can you have? What can you focus on to support that? We talk about mental equivalent. We talk about mindset. How about mind focus? Where is your mind focusing? Okay, to have your best possible life in every aspect of your life. Your health, your wealth, your work, your relationships, your social, your joy, your adventure, any other areas that you can think of. Okay? And conversely, what thoughts do you have that, well, it's time to take out the garbage? Okay? It's time to burn and get rid of. As Reverend Jeff will be leading us through here in just a moment, our burning bowl ceremony. Okay? So out with the old, in with the new, with what we are focusing on. The fourth principle that I wanted to mention tonight that I finally have started to deeply understand is that we, me, you, get to create our reality. Okay? There is something called the creative process. That we get to create our own reality either consciously or unconsciously. So are we aware of what we are focusing on? Similar to principle 3 that I just mentioned about change my thoughts and change my world, I had to begin using the creative process. I had to begin using my focus and using my thoughts in a way that brought me peace, love, and joy. I had to focus my thoughts on all the good and love and joy that I wanted to experience in my life. And again, gratitude and love allowed me to do that. And when I did that, the universe began to work on my behalf and mirrored back to me exactly what I was focusing on. Okay? And the results you can now see there in picture number 2. So wherever you are in your journey of life, just take a moment. Take a moment to reflect on this idea of the creative process and how are you using it in your life, consciously or unconsciously. And think about how you can use it to bring about the exact life that you want, that you desire, that you choose to have. Okay? Now here's the neat thing. Okay, this universal process, this creative process, it's impersonal, meaning anybody can use it. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter what language you speak, okay, what culture you were brought up in. This is available to you. It always works. Every single time. It always says yes. It's absolute. It works for me. It works for you. It works. This is the neat part. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And here's the even better part about this. It's free. It's free. You don't need a doctor's appointment. You don't need a doctor's prescription. It's available to you anytime, any day, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what state of life you are in. Okay? Begin with gratitude, begin with love, and slowly shift. Ask yourself, what is the best possible life that I can have in 2023? Health, wealth, joy, passion, work, relationships. And so the fifth principle, the fifth and final principle I wanted to talk about tonight, the one that truly made the difference in going from that picture on the left of me running to that picture on the right of me smiling, which is my coaching picture that is now literally all over the world. One of our deepest, most revered science of mind principles, and that is the idea of oneness. Okay? Oneness with God, oneness with spirit, oneness with the universe, whatever word that we choose to use. You see, in the first picture, I had no idea, no clue, that's an understatement, of this concept of oneness. In that first picture of me running, all you see is separation. Okay? And as a result, that's where these feelings of unworthiness came from. I'm not worthy was a thought that predominated my life for many, many years. Enough. I'm not enough predominated my thought for many, many years. You see in that picture on the left, I'm running. What I realized in the space of separation is that I was running for all the wrong reasons. Okay? It took me a long time to understand this. That's probably my 40th or 50th race right there that you see. Okay? I'm running because of fear. Because I think I'm not enough. Because I think I'm not worthy. It's because I didn't know that I was one with the universe. And in that second picture, okay, I understand that I am one. And then I now, to this day, run not from a place of fear, but from a place of love and joy and health. A big difference. So nothing changed about what I was doing, but everything changed about what I was being, who I was being, and what I was focusing on. Change your thinking and you'll change your world. So as a reminder, as you all head into 2023, if you hear anything today, remember anything today at all from this talk, remember this, that you too are one with God. You too are worthy. You too are enough, and you too are whole, perfect, and complete. Right here, right now, just the way you are. Just the way you are. And so Jesus says, ye are the light of the world, and that as you believe, so it shall be. And remember, you have access to all of this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It is free. God works for me. God works for you. God works for everyone, every people, everywhere, every time, no matter what. That is true for me. That is true for you. That is true for everyone. So as we go forth in the new year, if you want to create a new year, a new mindset, and most importantly, a new you, apply these principles. Apply these principles in good consciousness and good faith, knowing that you can and absolutely are capable of creating a new you. The pictures speak 1,000 words, from the left to the right. Fear versus faith. Okay? Scarcity versus abundance. Okay? Fear versus truth. Okay? Uncertainty, self-doubt, unworthiness versus confidence, compassion, knowingness. Okay? So as I bring this talk to a close, one final time, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you all. Maligayang Pasko. Happy New Year for a blessed, joyful, and abundant 2023. Thank you.